Hi everyone, welcome back to another edition of the Velvet Lounge. We will talk about this later. It is not edible. So today's subject is going to be how to exercise when you really don't feel like it outside when it's 100+ degrees, in the high 90s, or even in the high 80s. Some people don't like that. And also what to eat to help cool yourself down as well so that you can stay on your healthy track. So one of the things that I like to do is make something that's quick, that's easy, but once again, packed full of flavor. So in this bowl, I'm going to call it my modified rice bowl. And the reason why is I don't have a lot of rice. This is all there is. And that's a mixture of brown and basmati rice. And here I have a version of a stir fry that I made. It's really quick to make as long as you have all the things like prepared in advance. And in here you will find the following yummy, yummy, yummies. And every time I say yummy, the dog is like, what? Is there a treat for me? But anyway, there are mushroom, edamame beans, green beans or string beans. Not many of those because they're not my favorite, but we have them, so I used a little bit. Cauliflower, shrimp, chicken, and the spices I used were a bunch of, I have like this Asian spice mix, so I used some of that, as well as some garlic, some black pepper, some soy sauce, and my favorite, sesame oil. I use the sesame oil as a finishing, so I didn't use it to cook with. I used a teeny tiny bit of olive oil to cook this in. And so you basically just kind of first you cook your chicken, then you throw in your cook your veg, and I cooked all these separately. Then I cook the shrimp because obviously it cooks really fast. Then I put everything together and just sort of let it simmer for, I'm going to say no more than maybe 2-3 minutes. And, did my finishing touches to it, and this is what I have. So if you saw this, come on, that looks just as good as any restaurant meal. And it is crunchy. Like the textures in it are great. The shrimp is cooked perfectly. The chicken is still tender. I did use a thigh, so it's juicier. And also, it's packed full of vegetables. So that's one of the things that I do to keep cool in the summer and to stay on track is not to eat heavy foods. I decrease my starches. If it was fall or winter, I probably would have, a bunch of that much rice at the bottom. Like I'd have probably twice as much rice. And then I would put this on top, my stir fry on top. And then as a side dish, a huge healthy portion, because we have basically a supply of cauliflower right now. So you might see cauliflower again in 1 or 2 meals, but some fresh cauliflower. And I have this Newman's Own light ranch dressing. And of course, one of these little evil demons that I love are always lurking about, a hot pepper. And one of the other things I do, of course, is I still exercise in the summer, even though previous years, definitely it would be a year of rest. Not a year, but a season of rest. Sorry, a season. And why? Because, oh my God, it would be so hot. And here in New England, we've had a stretch of 100+ degree days. And on the days that it was 90+ degrees, with the humidity and all, it was as if it was like 100+ degrees anyway. So if you are like me and you don't love exercising outside in the summer, even though you want to, you just can't bear the weather. One of the things that I do is I now have this Endura Cool. It's an instant cooling towel, and it's washable. And actually, I suggest if you buy one of these, keep the container so that you can store it in there. It's the same thing that tennis players use, and it really, in other athletes, as you can see, and it works really, really well. And what I do is I basically like put this on my neck while I'm walking. Okay, this may be TMI for some people, but you could put it in between, like on your breastbone, in between your breast. Have it stick out a little bit so you don't look too weird, like you have a third boob. But you could do that and, use it on, put it on your wrist, wherever you feel that you want to get cool. I find if it's behind my neck or around my neck, that's usually the best. And the other thing is, because I'm a walker hiker, and I do it at a fast pace, I do chase I call it chasing the cool. So if there's shade, I'm chasing it. I'm like, my goal is get to that patch of shade as soon as possible. Also, because I live in a town that's full of woods and parks and ponds and lakes and such, what I will do is find the shadiest area of that day, and that's the area that I will walk. Something that you can do, especially if you live in a city or a town that doesn't have like a lot of wooded, shaded areas, is, just look at the buildings. Where do the shadows fall, on that block? And if the shadow is falling the right way, then you could walk up and down your entire block, which should be pretty long, hopefully. And even if you have to turn around and do it several times, at least you'll get outside, get your vitamin D, and you'll also get that exercise in. Also, of course, you can exercise in your own home, but for those of us that are walkers or hikers, we want to get outside. This is just a way of you staying in with it, meaning in the exercise mode outside without stopping for the season until it cools off. And then, of course, when you get back inside of your dwelling, do whatever low impact, high impact, strength exercises, whatever it is that you do, go ahead and do that. But that's how I stay cool. That's how I still eat healthy meals, and also, try to still pack in the veg and go lighter on the starches and backfill with more veg, but have a little bit of a delight and a little bit of heat that I can actually bear. So thank you so much for tuning in today, and simply remember this. Your health is your wealth. Without it, you have nothing.